Give me 1 second. Hold up. Hold up. Give me 1 second. Name that. Okay, there we go. Bingo. Estabilite frito. I don't even know what I said. Ooh, I finna get this bread. We already know we playing some Danganronpa. They always on my bumper. You know I got my shot like choker. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I sound like I'm making a WAP song. Hold on, y'all. Give me a minute. I'm finna get my water over here. Hold up, y'all. Y'all, hold up. I'm looking for something, cuz. Okay, I got it. No, I don't. I don't got it. Oh my god. Alright. It was a big ass bug, alright. You know, I'm your boy Press, you already know. Let's get right back to it. Last time we played Danganronpa, find that nigga hero. And we all think he did it, but I know you know he didn't get it. You're that type of person. Alright. Everybody's on the way around, you know. They tell the truth for more easily than that.
Hey.
Will you agree? I suppose.
Anyway.
Anyway, you have to hurry before the class tries to begin. Begin again. Yeah, you're right. Okay, show me the body. Okay. Oh.
So then.
She crouched down to Taka without a hesitation began poking him.
I knew it.
Mama Kuma's father was right. They was kill you to a similar option. Alright. Oh. Y'all got that? Oh, yeah. We did find that.
I see.
Hold on.
Hey.
Yeah. Hold on. Hold on, yeah. I'll still read it. You remember the wristwatch with Taka but always wore on his left hand? He did.
Whew.
So the people around, okay. No, that's not it. Anyway, so you said he had a watch.
So then,
Take a look. It was broken. You could see the head. Or you ain't even moving, right? It's most likely the watch when it had been encountered with a And if you notice the heads are broken at just past 6 o'clock. So then what it means to watch was broken sometime just after 6.
that's right.
So Tommy got exactly last night. When you was on his system, you got exact. Okay, it's almost 10 o'clock, you know. That's time for all the little boys to bed.
In other words,
It worked at 10 last night. It could have been broken at 6 p.m. That means it must happen at morning at 6.
however,
And not all look at Taco hands. It appears to be the same something.
Makoto,
Can you try and carry it out?
because
You already said also. Okay. Oh, okay. The ice cold hands was near enough. My heart stopped beating after some effects I finally able to free up in the outside from the light. A piece of
Hey.
paper. What is that was all in his hand? Yeah, that's it. Just a little strap of paper. They seemed like a much.
is that right?
I wonder about that.
So then,
Let's check the food Right, got that. We already know.
indeed,
Okay. I did more than I expect, to be honest. Look at this. And
that's right.
The 20 hit it.
Indeed,
He stuffed it in his pants. Okay. In his pants? Wait. This is like in his pants? So
why is that?
it was just his pants. It's not like any socks or something else. I don't know what that
Hey.
means. Anyways, let's take a look at the piece of paper. Go ahead, Makoto, open it up. And think how it was, how in his pants is like. Better, it's better be recorded clean, or I would never be a note. Okay, you see. Oh, Charlie. Okay, I found out. This way he got shot. Y'all remember he had died in the equipment room? So he was meeting somebody. Okay.
So,
So that's very something familiar. Yeah, it's like the same
However,
you're out. It's not exactly the same. I mean, yeah, the same is last night's song. Wait. He did kill on this shit. Look, he did last night, someone slipped a weird note under my door. But instead, I found that home, maybe we can escape. We usually can escape. Soon can find out, so don't tell anybody. For now, me and the person at 1 a.m. That time. Ooh. He wrote something.
is that right?
That dude sound like he because like if they all did it, he told because they so Hero was like he met a bully at 1. Then I feel like Celeste.
So,
Part of it had been found out, right? I think there was like some meaning there. You can maybe explain it a little more.
hey,
Why would I have been clutching those scraps of paper so tightly? I have no idea.
so then,
Whether it wasn't just a scrap of paper when he was holding it, what if it was something more important? Ooh, if that was something important like it can become a media scrap of paper, then what you need to do?
hey,
Oh. Okay. So the murder. So the handbook had nothing to do with how the murder was carried out. It's nothing that there were any reasons to think they were in contact with the killer. So you say I don't believe you think that the handbook
is that right?
because I feel like Celeste because she wanted to split up a lot of times. Like, bro, why you want to split up? Then I feel like she was making lies just like to kill Buffooni because Taka been dead. You feel me? Taka been dead because she killed her like and she tried to finish the job. What's her ultimate despair called? The ultimate something like that. All I said we were that they wasn't using to help carry out the murder. There may become a point, however, where the helper maybe play a role. The helper may play a role. Don't think understand. Please don't think the comments out there to keep you up in mind. But I ain't gonna fake. I watched the anime. Boy, like the TV show. I swear, bro, the TV show update from the boy, it getting good. But it was like they do like that. Like, you know how we doing the investigation, where they do that so quick, then next episode straight to the classroom. Like, dang, that's tough. Y'all already know what time that is.
Are you excited? Are you pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin! Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, with no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot. Make your way to the red... See.
It would seem...
But it's function, but I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You have to figure out the rest for yourself and you
Shall we go?
Okay. You know, hey, bro. I ain't ready, bro. Ain't no class trial gonna be started, bro. Hey, can y'all hear me? Hero, Celeste, anybody. I wanna go to that door. Happy if I go to the door. Man, stop. That's how I would be. Like, what happened if I talk about this red door? What happened if I go to the red door? We saw Leon. We saw what's that one girl named Drika? When Monokuma had killed, that was crazy. When she down anyway, I was like, dang, it made it way better than the game. But alright, let's go. It's gonna get a little interesting. Everybody had heard that Monokuma, and they were gathered. Ooh, y'all hear that song, bro? And soon we all have
Monokuma appears!
I'm not saying. Right, that's what I'm saying.
Wrong.
No, it's not. I can't say that way. Lacoup, see, I can say that way. It just look like a way of an illusion. I move so fast, only look like
Boy, tough crowd.
you're not playing along.
Stop talking. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Hey!
Then if everyone is here and ready to go, please board the plane of the train of the elevator. I will see you guys down there.
Let's go. Please!
Hold up, I'm not prepared yet.
What the heck?
What the heck?
Celeste, on that, boy, Celeste. Hey, I want to hear that.
That's right.
Let's go down there. Look. What color? The one who killed Ofuni and Taka, the one who killed two of our friends, the killer. I'm taking the deep pearl too, bro. I'm high for this. And the steel box began to move. The clutch of the elevator key of the company as we followed further and further down. There wasn't no going back until we all settled this. We can't go anywhere. Part 3, when we play part 3, part 2, but people was like, Like the second one, it's the first class trial. Then the first one. Open up into a curve.
Just the worst.
Only because of you. Why? Why are you making us do such a silly thing to each other?
What?
What? You love me, baby.
Come on.
Don't rush me, of course. I'm getting started.
Yahoo!
Shit. What's CJ, Prince Andrews say? Oh shit, here we go again, boy. I'm so hyped for this. Why? Yes, I want to save it. I ain't good with the. Oh. I can only have two, right? Ooh, y'all ready, bro? Bro. Oh.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one,
Shit. Like, you gotta figure out what letters, bro. I'm not gonna figure that stuff out, bro. I'm gonna look that. I'm gonna look
then
that.
I'll
up,
punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
But I know with this part two, I'm getting that because nah, they still got that.
We already know who did it!
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it!
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprint for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you?
Look, Hero. Look. Don't say no.
I don't know,
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hero, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about... Not that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hero, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just...
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Hero, why? Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
Is it, damn!
Everything we found in your room.
No, it's the blueprints. My bad.
Shoot!
My bad. I'm sure.
Everything we found in your room.
I'm trying to figure out if that's the right one.
The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all...
No, it's wrong.
I know it's the blueprints.
Are we sure Hero really made those blueprints?
Facts.
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hero wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different. Wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
Because we didn't see that. We didn't see that.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hero's the culprit?
And he is not the only one. I think Hero's innocent as well.
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hero said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
Nah, yes.
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
So? Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
Wait, hold up. Because we already know it's not you. It's not you.
Shoot!
What? Okay, so it's got.
I got it! Other than Hero, I can't think of anyone else it could have been.
I'm trying to get Celeste out. See.
Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hero is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense! You just said Hero didn't do it!
It makes perfect sense. Hero was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption! And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first.
Hey, stop trying to boss...
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
I got it!
There is still one thing, but still one more thing.
I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right? So, let's see if I can explain.
Oh, I thought I got it wrong. It's like,
Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right?
I ain't gonna fake it. You missed it. Too loud for me trying to read.
It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored. In the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body.
Facts, y'all.
That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the doll. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the doll.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway. We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Celeste. Like, even the inmate class tried says like the game is. Okay. It's I gotta hold down stuff. Okay, I remember, bro.
You have it wrong! I cannot agree! You are a fool! So pathetic! Lies will get you nowhere! Do your worst! Away with you! You miserable wretch! I cannot agree! You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch.
Oh, girl.
I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You miserable wretch. You have it wrong.
Dang, it's like... Damn, bro. Did it win? Hold up.
Is this really the end? I refuse to give up yet.
No, it's like it went so bad. It's dumb, like, bro. Then we got bullets. Oh, okay. My bad. I ain't read that part because I was like, why the bullets went out? So let's on that.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
Nah, bro. On that, bro. You can't give me that little thing.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident, and as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then... what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported... As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository.
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the top and loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off.
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah. But even without, all you'd have to do is bend over. Then you could push the dolly no problem.
Dang it, you can't bend
So the
over.
killer just cut and carted the body.
If you accept it, then you must realize that.
Sorry, I don't think I realize anything.
Still can't bend over. Y'all remember who was Hina Makoto was like, can't bend over.
As we know,
Taka was killed, and from there.
Yeah, the culprit wrapped, then loaded it onto the dolly and...
Now,
keep in mind
that the dog.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
No, that's wrong. You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember? When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Yeah. You're right.
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
You won't die.
on top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
No.
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hiro wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right!
So, it's really, really true that Robo-Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo-Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How do you get here?
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt. Yeah.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Then, when the killing started, it started later.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
Yo, I really found Celeste.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi.
Why say it like that, like he got abducted by aliens?
We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office,
Celeste came.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
I want to hear you. I want to hear that.
and then
Guess when that man got clapped.
at that point we decided to divide up into 2 groups.
Yes.
Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office,
We all
while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, and that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us, and she told us something very surprising. We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again. But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, Then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
How can I look back to the, Bro, that song about PTS. No, it was like, what was it?
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding... Taka's death. I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka,
I wonder if, or perhaps it was, we already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Shoot! So, regarding Taka, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with while Taka's death came...
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding... I wonder if he... or perhaps it was after...
We already know what order they were killed in.
No! It was the...
Shoot! So, regarding Taka's... I wonder if he... or perhaps it was after...
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the...
It's true that Hifumi, while Taka's death came...
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding... I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
Shoot!
Oh! I'm done, bro. Bro, I'm done, bro. I ain't even see. I'm blind, bro. I should saw that, bro.
I refuse to give up yet.
Because I swear I was totally blind. Go back to what I said.
So, regarding Taka, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice...
It's true that he... Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a...
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Well, hold up. I know.
So, look, I wonder if or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed while Taka's dead.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3,
While Taka's dead.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So,
Regarding I wonder if he or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
so, regarding
I wonder if or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers. Shoot! So, regarding Taka's, I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was after? We already know what order they were killed in.
Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering of the
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer, while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding I wonder if he or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in. Shoot! So, regarding I wonder if he died or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after. So, I wonder...
If he died before,
or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed while Taka's dead.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So,
regarding I wonder if or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
I'm wrong still, bro.
Shoot!
Wow, bro. How?
So, I wonder if or perhaps it was. We already know Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering of...
It's true that he flew while Taka's dead.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So,
regarding I wonder if or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were. Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbers.
It's true that he flew while Taka's dead.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So,
Regarding, I wonder if, or perhaps it was, we already know what order they were killed in.
Like, girl, it's stupid, bro. How? I'll bet you in that bro. This game got 30 my ones, bro. They make me feel like, oh yeah. No, because like, because it's like, I got the facts right. It don't make sense. Because I ain't know. Because fuck all that. No. F that, son. No, hold up, no. Because I swear. Sometimes this game make you feel like you a bum or something. That's what I say. I'm like, would we beat this right person and not be like this, bro? I swear, I was like, huh? It don't make no sense because like if I get this wrong, I bet you it's fake. I swear, bro. I'm gonna lose this one, you know.
Shoot!
Did that give me bullets?
So, regarding
Taka's,
I wonder if he died before he threw me, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in.
Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that he flew me while Taka's dead.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died. Or you threw me. Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the just.
It's true that he while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he, or perhaps it was.
We already know what order they were killed. Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering of the just.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer,
While Taka's death
came from a...
See? So it's obvious Taka came after. So, look, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in.
Shoot! I really don't know how to switch the bullets.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the number.
It's true that he while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So,
Regarding, I wonder if, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
shoot! So, regarding I wonder if, or perhaps it was.
We already know what order they were killed. Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering.
It's true that Hifumi was killed while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after. So, I wonder if he, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in.
That's because I think it's a book. I know we fell. I already know we fell. Come on.
Is this really the end for all of us? I refuse to give up yet!
No, it is. Yeah. It just give me one though.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering of the...
It's true that he while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
I'm saying call.
So, regarding I wonder if he, or perhaps it was.
We already know what order they were killed in.
So,
I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was while Taka's death came from a swing of...
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
so,
I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Fam. Fam, I'm finna really gonna call it quits, bro. Like, it's not me, y'all. And y'all know this. And I'll be on.
Shoot!
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died.
And they talk about third Monokuma. Man, what the Monokuma files got to do with it? Dang. I don't stress enough and stuff. I don't see nothing. Yo, it's my game is broken or something. Nah, it's my game is broken or something, fam. Because I know I'm not done, bro. See, you know what? Yeah, y'all can say this L. Y'all can
Before
say
he
this
killed
L.
me. Or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding, I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding, I wonder if he, or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
No, it's wrong. Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers.
Very well, I did not know.
If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
I'm trying to tell you, if you pass trials, like, I'm gonna be knowing, like stuff like that. I'm just be focused on my evidence, then I know the killer who is.
So you're saying the culprit, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
No, y'all already know. Y'all already know I ain't good with this. Y'all already know I ain't good with that. You already know I ain't good with it. So, hold up. My friend, hey, you know what's so crazy? My friend said text me. I told her, hey, give me all the, you feel me? The handman thing. He was like, alright. But I'm trying to tell you. Oh, so see how we got that.
Now I understand.
His watch. His wish. His watch. I could've got that.
Papa's wristwatch. See? Look.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night...
I take it because, like, I need to stop doing that. From now on, when there's gonna be a class trial, I'm gonna look like, you feel me? Because it's always, if I know, like, something, you feel me? I'm finna go back and watch this, you feel me? This video, you feel me? But let's finish this class trial.
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night...
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder. But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe. When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when his body vanished from the nurse's office. Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because...
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it?
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need...
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing.
Facts.
And according to what Celeste said, his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
You tell me. That nigga that big, cause it's like, no disrespect to all my big people and my big women, you feel me? But not for real. Just say you got this one big dude, right? He ended up dying, right? And he went to downstairs, and they said Hina and Cassidy, they was like they been in there for 2 minutes. You got to be some strong dude if you feel me. Y'all let me know.
What? How?
Right.
If the dead body were to move itself.
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another...
So Tony had moved.
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is... we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
Dead.
He was... alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That... it isn't possible.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement. Hifumi's dead body had been found, and that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Hold on. I can't even see what the words.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Very sure if the body is somebody else. Because they said they been heard Mom Cool said it's a body.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No. It is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
No, bro. It's like, bro.
Are you saying that when we first found there's a chance he was actually...
No. It is impossible. Hifumi was dead.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement.
Hifumi's dead body had been found.
And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Shoot!
I know, bro. It's like...
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a...
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Shoot! Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us.
Hold up, bro. I gotta think about it. Hold up, bro. I gotta think about it. Hold up. Damn, I really got to think about it. I really got to think about it. Hold up. I'm over here thinking about it. Hold up. He was alive the whole time. Like, nah, man. Bro, I'm still thinking, y'all. I'm still thinking. Wait, I'm still thinking, bro.
Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is...
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
It's just hitting, y'all. Because when y'all come like, are you sure about that? I was like, I don't know, guessing because I don't know. Hold up, something here because Celeste said. We don't sure if it was for Fumi, it was for Taco. But hold up. Then what's Celeste? Y'all hear me out while I'm good.
Are you saying that when we
First found Hif, there's a chance.
he was at...
No. Hifumi was dead. Without it.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
No, it's wrong. Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Look, it was for Taco.
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
We ain't know Taka was
Maybe.
dead.
But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty. Huh? He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
When we found Fumi, we thought Fumi was dead, but my Fumi thought he was. No.
Shoot!
My bad, y'all. Hold up. Because didn't morning announcement.
I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
Yeah. Because I have to think for a
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
Because he made his boy, he made that clutch, man, shoot. He's like, oh, was like, oh,
And
snap.
that's just part of it. There's
Yes.
one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada bing. That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's...
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery. Then it should become clear whether
This whole thing... Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found him, and then his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Then, was he really still alive?
Of course not. It is impossible. This is ridiculous. Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Milk is wrong! In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can. I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles. Some demon angel pretty pudgy princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
I was like, oh, Fumi's the only person who wears
A
glasses.
few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
I forgot y'all two wear glasses.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is...
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
And it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere! But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository.
Did Mama tell you to come from down here?
No.
Yes, she did earlier when I was on my way to work. I could have sworn she said, take all your stuff back upstairs and put it in your room. But besides that, you know you loud as hell and everybody sleep, right?
Oh, my bad.
Like you're loud, like loud.
Oh, my
you're
bad.
in the basement, everybody can hear you.
Oh, my bad, son. Hey, me too. Can you shut that door?
I'm gonna shut it. Mama said, if you lied and Mama said that you had to get from down here, I'm gonna take my TV.
So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it. If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item...
Oh, what's she talking about?
I got it!
Yeah.
You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In pants?
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
That's the note I was telling you about. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been... Shoot!
Hold up.
In other words, and that person could only have been... I got it! That's right! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, correct?
Oh, yes! Why must you ruin it every time? Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok! Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Shoot!
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok! Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
Hold up. I gotta think about this. Yeah, hold up. Damn, I'm still gotta think about it. Hold up. It's freaking... If Funi had write that note right, so I guess, hold up. If Funi had to write that note right, then she said, hold up, then they think Taka wrote it, but hold up, I'm still thinking about it. Because if Afuni had that note right, and he wrote it at 6, right? Hold up, fam. Hold up, fam. Give me one more minute. I got this cleared out. Hold up. Because I'm thinking about it. If Afuni had it right, and he tried to kill Afuni, not that type of person at first, and he want to meet up with somebody, alright? It's got to be one thing. It's got to be one thing, right? Hold up. What Kiriko was like, remember what the note said, too. Hold up. I think I got it, y'all. I think I got it. Hold up, no I don't. Y'all, this game really makes you want to think. Because why a Funi, all people have, you feel me? Yo. Yo, hold up. Oh, yo, I got it. Because
time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
No,
it's wrong. No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that...
No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster.
But if they gave the note to Taka...
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Yes.
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
Hey.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi...
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he still alive!
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind.
He was killed in the repository, so he must...
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body...
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me together. Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus. Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah! It's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it, but if the hammers were already laying around those other...
So the question is, how personally I have... So which hammer was used?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And
Is it not possible that...
I don't think it is possible.
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
You know it, bro.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer...
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure. How was the culprit able to move around? How did nobody witness them carrying it? Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing...
The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammer, and... that's about it.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it? Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers!
No, that's wrong! The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean. And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones. And even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him. Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him.
Hifumi and Celeste been working with each other since they got here. Remember when Hifumi was trying to get her some milk?
The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else. So the idea that anyone... Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person, only the one who actually carried out the act can, assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained.
But that only really applies if there's one. In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person, only the one who actually carried out the act, assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people...
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have been, even if more than one person is only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive, assuming the rule holds true.
It is simple.
No, that's wrong. Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved...
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk, there's no point in being... However, if there were...
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look...
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful!
You think so? I can't help but admire its...
I understand how an accomplice could be involved.
That's problem numero uno right now!
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
Yo, let's end it right here, y'all. Don't mind my brother. He said, hey, nobody can subscribe. Love y'all. I forgot people's upstairs. My bad.